All right, so exponents, you've had a really thorough look into exponents in the previous video, and now let's talk about how that same idea applies to integers. So remember, integers involve negative numbers as well as the positive. So as a quick refresher, we know that an exponent will take 2 to the 4th power, for example. 2 to the 4th power means 2 times itself 4 times. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, right? And we know that that is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, okay? We know then that if we take an exponent such as -6, and let's take -6 to the 2nd power. What that is essentially saying is we are taking -6 times -6, which a negative times a negative is a positive, so it's going to be positive 36. The same idea applies to positives and negatives. So if you have, let's take another one. Let's take -3 squared. Or let's take -3 to the 3rd. Let's make that to the 3rd. So that's the same as saying -3 times -3 times -3. So if I were to do these in order from left to right, the first two would be -3 times -3, which is +9 times -3. Just brought down this -3. Then +9 times -3 is -27, because a negative times a positive is a negative. So if you were to continue to engage these, I'll tell you a quick tip. When the exponent is even, like 2, 4, 6, 8, you are going to always have a positive result. If the exponent is odd when you have a negative base, and I think that's the key, negative base, then the exponent will be negative. So you just want to pay attention to that. You don't have to memorize that. In any case, just know that you can multiply it out whenever you're not sure. But let me show you something. Notice how these negative numbers were in parentheses. But let's take this same -6, but let's just make it -6 to the 2nd power. What I need you to understand is that in the absence of a parenthesis, this exponent goes with the thing right here, because this is the same as saying -1 times 6 squared. I'll let that sink in for a minute. In the absence of a parenthesis, which is saying what are you grouping together, the exponent goes with the thing right next to it, right to the left of it. So because these top ones had parentheses around it, it was saying, I want you to group all of that together. But in this case, there isn't anything separating them, so now just the thing right next to it. So now this becomes the same as -1 times 36, because 6 times 6 is 36. So -1 times 36 is -36. This is an important difference, a very important difference. So make sure that you don't get that confused, because you will see this again. So let's take one like this. Let's look at -4 squared. Well, just like the top one, this is the same as saying -1 times 4 squared. So -1 times 4 squared, which is 16, this is going to be -16. So big distinction there. I hope this clarifies any confusion, and if not, watch it again. And be sure to ask me any questions if any should arise. All right, see you in the next video.